Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Discard Dead, where we like to open boosters, boxes and decks of dead and out of print trading card games. Today we'll be looking at how to play the Power Rangers action card game. The Power Rangers are special groups of young people gifted with the ability to morph into superpowered warriors who defend the Earth from evil forces, such as the Witch, Rita Repulsa, the leader of evil space aliens, Lord Zed, or the evil matriarch of demons, Queen Banshira. There have been many teams of Rangers throughout history with their powers coming from many different sources. Now you have a chance to prove your skills by assembling a legendary team of warriors to save the world. Before we get into the fight, it's important to know your arena. Let's take a quick look at the layout of the game and where everything goes. Firstly, we have the deck area, which is where your deck goes. Next is the discard area, which is where we put cards that were either used to pay costs, cards discarded as damage, and where used assist cards or winning characters are placed after battle. The training area here is where defeated characters are kept until they can either assist in battle or are spent to pay certain costs. Finally, the battle area is where your cards are played and where battles take place. Now let's take a look at the cards themselves. Each card represents either a hero, villain, a supporting cast member, or a Zord of some kind. Let's take a look. Here is the card's name and originating series, the card's cost, how much damage is dealt, as well as the card's effect and its timing and the ability symbol, if any. Along this side are the power levels and power values and rock paper scissors symbol in case of a tie. Finally, the card type and the card number. In order to play, all you need is 60 cards and either 2 dice, a deluxe Gosei Morpher, or a smartphone with the Power Rangers card scanner app installed. Unfortunately, the scanner app is no longer available on app stores, and while the Morpher can be acquired through eBay, they may be a little bit expensive. Dice, however, are easy to use and are abundant in the world at large. Each player must have a 30 card deck to play with no more than 3 copies of the same numbered card. You can play a villain deck if you choose, but it must only contain villain cards. When each player is ready, you shuffle your decks and place them in the deck zones in the play area. Shake hands, and each player draws a starting hand of 5 cards. You win the game as soon as your opponent runs out of cards in their deck. If both players run out of cards at the same time, the game ends in a draw and both players are considered winners. A game of Power Rangers consists of a number of steps which are followed by each player at the same time. Each player draws 2 cards from the top of their deck. Once each player is ready, they may simultaneously play a ranger, villain, or support card from their hand by discarding cards to pay the cost and place it into the battle area face up. You may choose to not play a card at this time. Players have a chance to play the more powerful Zord or Megazord cards if they played a card during the summon step. The extra card is played face up on top of the card played earlier by paying their cost. Again, you may choose to not play a card during this step. The results of battle depend on who has a card in the battle area. If only one player has a card in the battle area, that card deals twice as much damage to their opponent as printed on the card. This is the penalty for not playing a card. Then all cards in the battle area are discarded. If both players have a card in the battle area, each player performs Judgment. Using either dice, a deluxe Gosei Morpher, or the Power Rangers card scanner app, players can determine the power level of their cards. A card's power level ranges from 1 to 5, and then 6+. Players can then choose to assist using any cards in their training area, discarding them one at a time, starting with the player with the least power. The assisting card adds their assist value to the level of the battling card. This continues until both players pass and the showdown begins. Compare the power of each card, with the higher power winning. In case of a tie, reset the power levels and keep performing judgments and assists until there is a victor. The winner then deals damage to the opponent. If the winner's rock paper scissors icon also beats the opponent, then deal damage again as a bonus. Finally, the winning card is discarded and the defeated card is sent to its owner's training area. If there are no cards in the battle area, the round returns to the start step and the game continues. Damage is inflicted to your opponent's deck, meaning they discard the top card of their deck for each point of damage dealt. After this, the round begins again, starting from the draw step and so on until one player's deck has run out of cards. There are also a number of keywords for when certain printed abilities can be activated and played, and a variety of ability icons that have different effects that can be used with particular timings or from specific areas of the playing field. Played. The effect activates when you play the card. A card is considered played once its cost is paid and is placed onto the battlefield. Battling. The effect activates while the card is battling, meaning from the moment it enters the battle area until the time it leaves. Win. This effect activates when the card wins a battle and before damage is applied. Lose. This effect activates when the card loses the battle and also before damage is applied. Damage. The effect activates when the card is discarded from the deck as damage. Training area. The effect can be activated when the card is in the training area. Hand. The effect can be activated when the card is in your hand. Showdown. This effect activates when the card enters the showdown step. If any of these abilities have the word infinity in the effect timing section on the card, then the ability can be activated as many times as it triggers. A card may often display an ability symbol that provides an added effect depending on when it can be used. Shield. If you lose a battle, you cannot take any bonus damage. Evil. During battle, you may discard the top card of your deck to your discard area to add the assist value of the discarded card to your judgment. Scroll. If you win or lose, you may perform an extra judgment to change the rock, paper, scissors symbol of this card depending on the result. On a 1 or a 2, the symbol changes to rock. On a 3 or 4, it changes to paper, and on a 5 or a 6, it changes to scissors. Duel. If this card is in the training area, you may treat this card as 2 cards when paying for a cost. Ally. If this card is in the training area and is discarded as an assist, this card gives an additional +1 to judgment. Occasionally, if you are using the deluxe Gosei Morpher to perform judgment, a sound may be heard. Each of these effects are noted on the playmat that comes with the starter set. The effects of some of these sounds could be discard all cards in all training areas, your opponent takes 2 damage, your opponent discards 2 cards from their hand to the discard area, or players cannot take any damage this turn. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This one was rather quick compared to the last one, but then again, this game is not as complex. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you want to like and subscribe and all that jazz, then that'd be really cool. That's all from me for now. Morphing out.